You want one too?
I'm on fire.
Good Lord, those are numbers of a bad man.
We come out of LA victorious.
Shut your mouth, bro.
None of these are cowboy games, baby. We got you some other stuff. And it all starts right now. Welcome in Commanders family into Command Center, presented by SeatGeek, the official primary ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders.
Ryan Robinson Jr., just think of everything this kid had to endure last year.
Ryan Robinson, he's got that dog in him.
I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission.
Robinson, and he's in. Touchdown!
Powerful, tough, a slasher, and he has a great speed.
This is Robinson breaking free. Hits the hole hard. Robinson is in. Touchdown, Washington.
Flips it out to Brian Robinson down the sideline. Touchdown! Caught.
Robinson breaking tackles, breaking free. Robinson still going. Robinson coming for more.
He is an absolute battering ram, just laid into him.
You should fear me.
Brian Cooper Jr. here with Mr. 89 Santana Moss, Fred Smoot, Logan Paulson, and fellas, y'all just saw that hype video of B-Rob, man. Now my man's put up some Pro Bowl type numbers. Talk about B-Rob a little bit, give him some love.
Man, you know, I love B-Rob. He's one of those backs that, you know, when it comes down to it, he gets the job done.
Yeah.
You know, we've been talking about giving him more carries, and regardless of how he getting the ball, he finds his way into pay dirt. So he's one of those guys that we have to bring some attention to when it comes time to, because he went out there and did the way he's doing it and still being able to be a dominant guy in this league.
What I love about him, and people ain't gonna catch this drift, he's the Santana Moss of this team. Meaning, whatever you ask him to do, he does it.
Yeah.
He never nags about it. You heard Coach Bieniemy joke and say, you know, you almost our best wide receiver.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where he's like, give me a chance and I will produce for you no matter how you want me to do it. Catching out the backfield, blocking, running, and I love that.
Football player.
Yeah, I don't know if I could say it better myself. Like he's just been so productive in all facets of the game and kind of opened our eyes, right? To the kind of football player and kind of type of athlete that he is. So great job for him. And I think he does deserve to be in this kind of conversation about the Pro Bowl.
And Logan, B-Rob and our guys had an extended week. They had that bye week. It was a late one. We talked about that a little bit last week. How are these guys feeling? You've been there before. How you feeling coming off the bye week? Does it give you some advantages?
I mean, especially with how the season's been going so far. I think these guys probably feel pretty good. I think it was a good time to like refocus, kind of recenter yourself, say this is some stuff we need to take care of, and make this final push for the last 4 games.
Me, myself, I'm pulling back in the parking lot, opening that door, kicking that leg out. and I'm ready to finish the season right now. I'm ready to finish what we started. Everybody like, what they playing for? I'm playing for pride. The pride on the front of this jersey and the pride on the back of this jersey.
You know, far as having to buy this late, you hate to have this kind of like, okay, let's go sit down and recharge. But I think it was needed for this season. Some of the stuff that we've been going through, we needed to go out there and kind of reset. But me coming back, I just have one thing in mind: finish. You know, regardless of what's going on, just finish strong.
And our guys are definitely looking to finish. We have the LA Rams. We're going to be out in Cali, baby. Now, one thing about the LA Rams, they have a head coach in Sean McVay. You guys are familiar with him, man. He was in Washington for a while. Logan, I'm going to start with you because he was a tight ends coach at one point. How was it being coached by Sean McVay?
I mean, fantastic. I mean, he was very, very young at the time. Tanner, you remember you were on that team. Very young guy, but I think immediately you saw the kind of talent that he had. He knew every element of the playbook. He was the quality control. He'd vet the meetings, vet the offense, kind of keep Kyle in check, which is crazy to do because Kyle's a genius, right? And then his I think the thing that's most impressive about him is his interpersonal skills. He knew everybody's name in the building, knew the janitor, knew the chef, knew the cook. Everybody he knew, and like the professionalism that he had, even at that young age, coupled with the intelligence, you knew he was destined for great things.
Most definitely.
It's like no surprise. Watching this guy, you know what I mean?
Fred knew, hey, I'm going to get this
I was almost shocked you threw it to me so fast. Nah, but he's one of those guys, when you look at his track record now, it's not a surprise why he's having so much success. I think when he was here, I tell everybody that story about, he was he was one of those receiver coaches where we just had him in a room. And he knew more than our receiver coach. And I used to tell him, like, bro, speak up, say something. And one day I had to stop the meeting and allow him to do that. And he thanked me for days after that. Like, bro, I appreciate you know how much it's meant. But I'm like, no, I care less about your age or your status. If you have the information, please give it to me. So he's one of those guys that I will always love, man.
Look at that, Santana Moss, budded a career, man. And you know what, Fred gave you someone to start the show. We're going to keep giving you love, Tanner, because, okay, we're going to talk a lot about this Rams matchup, right? But somebody out in Miami, your hometown, gave you some love. Tariq Hill put you as his top 5 receivers. Let's take a look at these guys. You got Jerry Rice. You got Antonio Valtillo. You got some names up there.
Steve Largent. You got Terrell Owens. El Dorado Owens. Most definitely.
Now, fellas, these are some heavy hitters right here.
Yeah.
Tanner, man. I mean, I know this is probably not a huge deal to you because you've gotten a lot of love throughout your life, but how cool was it to get love from one of the best receivers in the league today?
You know, I'm one of those guys, man. I mean, what's real is real.
Yeah.
I'm not the top, 5 when it comes to, yards in this league. So I understand that. But when it comes to this guy's list, I made the list.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it. I think, when you look at it, I'm not big into social media when it comes to just chatter. But I think it started something and everybody was sitting here, oh, Tanner is not, you got the wrong Moss. I'm going to give some love. I'm going to give some love to the little guys. And that's basically his opinion. And I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
I met the kid 2 years ago, and it was one of the first things Mike McDaniels told me when I got there to the Dolphins facility. He said, I need you to meet Tyreek. He thinks the world of you.
Yeah.
So hats off to Tyreek, and I'm hoping he get that 2,000 this year.
Oh man, I'm hoping too. And Fred, you got to cover Santana a little bit. Talk about your boy.
Hey, the funny thing about it is, we classmates. I got to cover Terrell Owens the whole time. I got to cover Antonio Brown, Jerry Rice,
And Steve Largent.
I did. London tackled Steve Largent years ago. But you know what? I didn't make Tyreek list because I ain't no wide receiver, but I did make Tom Brady's top 5 list.
There you go.
Because he's talking about himself. One thing I will say about Santana Moss, man, is he is Tyreek Hill before Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Imagine if Mike McDaniels or Sir Kyle Shanahan had him in his prime. They would force you to play outside. And imagine if you were like Cooper Kupp, the way they're using Cooper Kupp now. Tyreek Hill, I just look at your skill set, man, and I think a good recognized good, that's totally deserving, man. You don't get enough recognition.
I appreciate that.
Definitely a receiver that was ahead of his time. Now, you don't make a list like this unless you're ice cold. Tanner, what's cooler than being cool?
Ice cold! It's time for Ice Cold Moments, presented by Steam Fitters. Steam Fitters, UA Local 602 provides the highest level HVAC and mechanical piping services.
Now, here's a look at some of Santana Moss's greatest moments from his 14-year career. And Tanner, I promise you, none of these are Cowboy games, baby. We got you some other stuff, because I know you like seeing your other plays. Period. This first one is against the New York Giants. Tanner, narrators, what?
Oh man, Christmas Eve. I'm feeling the spirit. I saw the signs. The family is in the stands. Get in that thing, Tanner.
Give for each and every one.
That was the first one. Here go the second one. I had to spin around, catch the ball. Thanks, Mark. Oh, you still there? Oh, you still there? Let me go ahead.
That's our classmate. You did like that.
Hey, everybody gets it. You go against the third one. They put a new quarterback in, Patrick Ramsey. You want one too? There you go.
What you thinking in the lives right there? What you thinking right now?
Hey, gifts for everybody. Everybody gonna be happy today.
And then Santana said that was a 3-touchdown game. But when you got a 14-year career like Santana Moss, you put up a bunch of 3-touchdown games. This one's against Jacksonville.
Man, look here, hometown guys. Florida in the house, I gotta represent even harder. This first one, I didn't realize I was gonna get in there, but that's my spin move right there. Now, I've been doing that since Little League, man.
And when you put clothes in the washers, they get clean. They get clean because he put them in the spin cycle.
I got it.
I understand.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, that first one started off. Once I got out of that first one, I was in that zone. I was like Mario on Mario Brothers. I done doggone got the
all the mushrooms and everything.
I was on one.
It has been great going down memory lane with a true Washington legend, and I will be with this legend in Los Angeles. We will be in LA for our game against the Los Angeles Rams. So let's take a look at those details about that game. It is time for your game day guide, brought to you by SeatGeek, your ticket to great Commander seats. Command Center has got you covered all weekend long from out in LA. We'll kick off the weekend Saturday evening for the Commanders fan rally at Hermosa Beach. Santana Moss, Brian Mitchell will be live from Los Angeles answering your questions and giving you all the insight for this week's 15 matchup with the Rams. And join us on game day at 2:30 Eastern Time for Command Center Game Day Live. B. Mitch, Santana, and myself will give you all the pregame analysis you need right from SoFi Stadium. Plus, we got you covered immediately after the game for postgame live. You can catch us on the Commanders YouTube, Facebook, and X. Now, if all those details don't get you fired up, I know somebody who will. Fred Snoop, take it away.
I'm on fire! Time for Fred Fired Up, presented by FanDuel. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of your Washington Commanders. Welcome to Fred's Fired Up, and I'm fired up.
red carpet, Fred.
Yes,
You're a dinosaur, man.
We're going to La La
Check it out.
Land. And the one thing we know about La La Land is the land of stars. It's where stars are born.
There we go.
When I'm ready to introduce the world to the new Superman, I'm dropping Superman 5, starring Sam Howell. Yes, baby. Sam Howell. If you ever want to be a star, you show up in LA, you perform on that Sunday, you leave, everybody knows your name. And I'm never giving up on you. My new movie called The Last Soldier, starring Emmanuel Ford. When you become a star, my friend, when you go in here and get 1 pick, 2 picks, 3 picks, and you become the man. What about you? Any stars born in LA?
KJ Henry.
Yeah, why not?
He put his hand in the dirt and he get a little bit of this right here. You got on there, a little ass on it, a little bit. But I had to call it out because it's right there. He's one of those guys. He has to be one of those guys to step up. You can't talk about Sweat. He's gone. You can't talk about Young. He's gone. We need somebody new to talk about. KJ Henry should.
Who's your star?
And for me, it's Brian Robinson, man. He's been so consistent, catching the ball, running hard. They don't want that out in LA. They don't want that physical football. So that's what I'm excited to see out there.
And that's what we are fired up about.
Hey, Commanders family, clearly Fred is fired up and ashy. We're going to get him lathered up for LA. But until then, let's head over to our headlines Hollywood edition. That elbow ashy as hell. Let's check out some movie matchups in this week's headlines presented by the Washington Times. All right, fellas, so for this version of Headlines Hollywood, you see the Hollywood sign back there? We got superstars over here. Now, we know you guys used to be in front of the camera.
Yeah.
But this time, we're going to let y'all put y'all director's hat on and get behind the scenes with a few movies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a movie. You're going to tell me why that fits with our matchup. So, Logan, I'm going to start with you because your movie.
I can't wait.
Yeah, let's see what you
Frankie's
got.
Water? You got it? All right,
Water's first.
So, Logan, your first one, Rocky.
Yep.
Now, Rocky, for those of y'all that don't know, it's a story of a man that defeated all odds to take on the champion.
Right.
Why does this relate to our game against the Rams?
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. You know, Aaron Donald's one of the best defensive players of all time, maybe the best of all time. And to see him up there and to see the young Sam Cosmi, who's playing really good football right now, have an opportunity to maybe take down the champ in this game. Yeah. Really excited about it. Obviously, it's not just Sam Cosmi. You're going to have a whole scheme to kind of make sure that it's taken care of. He's going to line up all over the formation. Aaron Donald, Chris Paul's going to have to work. But yeah, let this offensive line take down the champ. Really excited for that.
I love this movie poster with him as Clubber Lang.
No, it's Apollo.
That's Apollo 3.
It's two. All right, it's two.
No, it's Clubber Lang. You're right.
I'm gonna say, I know my movies, man.
Well, listen, Fred, you do know your movie, so we're going to go with you. And much like you and Logan, this one is about dynamic duos.
Yes.
Batman and Robin. Who is the true dynamic duo this weekend?
That's the great thing about being in this universe. Anything you want to happen can happen. Now, when I look at these duos right here, I gotta say, here go your Batman, there go your Robin right there, because these two are equal right there. All right, so I have to go with them right there, but we know great movies. And when you're going into competition, I don't think these two can beat me without Matthew Stafford. But he can be the leader. He is my Batman, and he ain't got no superpowers. He just rich. All right? But one thing about it that makes it a great movie, you need a great villain. Matthew Stafford could come through as the Joker.
Matthew Stafford could definitely be that villain. Now, Tanner, you did something a little different. Now, you went with a movie that doesn't exist yet, but maybe should exist. And it's two universes colliding together. Marvel versus DC. Why does that relate to this weekend's game?
I think it's something that we always wanted to see. You know, one of the things about growing up, and Fred is a big Marvel guy. I remember as a kid, I wanted to see the DC comics, which we rarely hear of, against the Marvel guys. And I think when you look at the DC guys, you have Green Arrow, you have Flash, you have guys in that sense, you have Wolverine, you have what's the other guy, Colossus, all the guys that I named. We're going to Hollywood. Hollywood, whatever you might say. So who are going to be the best comics? It's fitting, DC against the Marvel guys. And I think when it comes to Marvel, not only does these guys have the X-Men colors, they kind of have the same kind of, mantra. They play like that.
They play like that,
let's see who's going to be the best.
Yeah, let's see who's going to be the best. A lot of star power here on this stage, and there's going to be a lot of star power out in LA. And you mentioned Matthew Stafford being the Joker. He has a lot of firepower with his weapons. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Now, this week's Air Power is presented by Air National Guard, proud partner of the Washington Commanders. Now, despite an overtime loss to the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday, the Rams, led by veteran quarterback Matthew Stafford, looked sharp. Stafford threw for just shy of 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Rams' Batman and Robin wide receiver duo, Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, combined for over 200 yards and a touchdown against the Ravens. Now, let's send it over to Logan Paulson, who's ready to break down this offense in the film room.
Thanks, Brian. This is your field pass presented by FedEx, where now meets next. Guys, those Hollywood directors, man, so pretentious.
You know how it is.
Let's talk about a little bit of football. Tana, we were talking in our production meeting about this guy right here, right?
Yes.
Nope, that's not the right button. This one right here.
To do it.
Boom, there we go. That guy. Who's that guy?
Aaron Donald.
Colossus.
And so what did you say? He's getting triple teamed, he's getting double teamed, they're sitting back over there. And as a defensive coordinator, with him on the team, I know one thing. The slide of the offense is going to go this way.
Always goes.
They're going to send the center that way.
All day.
So that means that I can identify the man protection side. And what the Commanders have had a hard time with is simulating pressures.
Yep.
Because when you identify the man side, I know that I can bring my good blitzing linebacker right and have him one-on-one with the back. That's what they do here. So you see the slide goes this way, slide goes left, run on the back, and then we get a sack, right? Yeah. So I think this week they got to be ready for that, right?
Yeah.
How do we kind of manipulate our slide, accounting for Aaron Donald, right? And still not get these weird one-on-ones with the running back in a tough pass protection situation.
Don't want to overcompensate for him.
Yes.
Understand that it's always something coming on the opposite side.
Absolutely, especially with what he brings and the gravity he brings from an offensive line standpoint. Now, I think they're going to be able to get after the quarterback a little bit. They got Aaron Donald. This guy's pretty good from Wake Forest. But when you watch the film, we all watch this. These guys have a hard time. Young defense in the back end, right?
Always.
Busting coverages. This
Communication.
is a very simple motion here. Right there. They're going to run a dig, something like that. 2 in cuts, right?
Yep.
Fred,
Yes.
I'm assuming they got to pass this off, right?
They have to push it. That means you push a man, I'm going to push a man, and then we reestablish what we're doing.
And we always talk about communication in our defense. I see this guy, watch him. He's like, hey, we got to push this over. Let's go. And then they don't push it over.
No, because they didn't communicate.
They didn't communicate, right?
Yep.
So they are the third worst team in the NFL giving up explosive plays on stuff like this. Right?
Yes.
They have a really hard time with this. And so I think Sam Howell sees this, gets an opportunity. You get it protected because outside of Aaron Donald, not an overly dynamic pass rush.
Yeah.
So when you get this coverage bust, we got to hit it.
Got to take advantage of it.
Make an explosive play. I could see Logan Thomas making a play like this. I can see Terry, any guy, right?
Yeah.
You're open in grass, go score a touchdown, right?
Cole Turner, easily.
Yes, but I think the thing that defines this offense, defines this team, is the offense.
Yeah.
Yes,
They have this guy right here, Tana. You were saying something about him, man.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford, baby.
Wolverine himself.
Yeah, baller, right? And everyone sleeps on him, but they so we've talked about the Miami Dolphins, we've talked about the San Francisco. Yeah. This is of that Kyle Shanahan tree, this is the team that has the best quarterback.
Yeah.
And they really lean on him. Watch him. They're gonna get a motion here, dissect the coverage, watch him. He's gonna say, I know this play, I know what you guys are doing. Let's check the play. And so what he's doing here, he's checking the play to a man beater.
Yep.
And I don't know how he knows it, but he studies a lot of film, he figures it out, right? So they're going to bring a short motion here right before the snap with Cooper Kupp. Going to motion quickly here, get a good matchup, because what are they doing here, Tana? They're bringing this guy off the slot.
Yep.
And then I feel like we ran this thing with them. Right? 1, 2, you're running a corner route on a safety, right?
Yes.
And that's because this guy check to the right play. You know what I'm saying? So you scored a play against Philly, the same thing, right? This is flag. So little swirl, corner versus good leverage, and that's all at the line of scrimmage. There's a free runner even to the quarterback. He says, I'm just going to buy a little time, put a little air on this football.
Throw it to the pylon.
Throw it to the pylon. That's exactly right. He makes so many plays for them like this.
Yes.
So how do you account for him? How do you not give him a tell, Fred? I mean, you've had to play some good quarterbacks.
You're going to have to hold your coverage.
Yeah.
All right? You're going to have to communicate. You're going to have to communicate early. If we know they're stacking right here and I have to move over and I have to check this man, where is my leverage?
Yes.
Is it inside or is it outside? Every throw in this red zone has to be thrown very quickly. You cannot wait.
Yes, and then I think this guy Santana is pretty good at running routes.
Yeah.
What do you think what he's got?
Cooper Kupp, man, one of the best. It's crazy. I got a chance to talk to him through text this summer. And,
nice.
He was the guy watching film. He was sitting back watching film with one of the guys on the things that we was doing here. So that's why I always say, man, the film doesn't lie. The eye in the sky doesn't lie.
Never lie.
All these guys right now are sitting there watching stuff that we was once doing here with all those coaches.
Absolutely. So the other thing they do is they get in bunches all the time. Highest rate of bunches in the NFL. Fred, it makes it really hard for defenses, and I think this is a really good example here, right?
Yeah.
Because we bunch out, right? We shift the motion, and now they're gonna go 1, 2, 3 here, right?
Yeah.
So basically, this nickel player is now on your best receiver.
Yes.
And we're gonna look at this real quick, and you guys are gonna demo what happens here.
Yeah.
I like this matchup a lot. I like Cooper Kupp on the backup nickel. If he's gonna dice you up, Tana, Fred, what do you see here from the DB? What do you see here from the receiver?
Well, let's start with how tight the formation is. But how tight the formation is tells us we cannot get him and Jam all on the same level right there. That's the funny thing about it. Now bring that back right here. Me and Tanner started right here. If I'm a corner and I'm right here off of Tanner, he's gonna come, play. If I let my feet stay like this, I'm beat from the door. And that's what he did. With Tanner giving that move, I'm going to be in a chasing position.
So what you saying that, what I want to do is I want to show him that I'm going inside him because it seems to me this guy had a little leverage and he wanted to stay on top outside. But once he mirrored my feet, bing, bing, he was stuck. He was gone. Now I got him right where I want him to be.
I think like you mentioned this too, Fred, like he's obviously trying to shade. He's trying to shade slightly outside.
Slightly outside.
And then he jumps the leverage here. He jumps to something that he's got help on, right? Doesn't need to be that aggressive.
Don't need to.
But this is where Cooper Kupp's so good. This is where Matthew Stafford's so good, right? This good pressure in his lap, understanding that understanding it's man coverage. There's grass out here. I can make this throw with time and anticipation and get that ball out.
Two things we need to see too as we watch the film. If I'm in that secondary room, understand that Matt, he's had so much confidence in these guys. He's throwing to the spot.
He's not throwing to a person.
These guys, half of these guys weren't even open. Like we don't watch 2 plays on this segment, and you saw he just threw the ball up because he knows that this guy, I can trust that he's going to be there. So as a defensive back, I'm saying to myself, I got to be sharp. I got to be on point because if I'm beat, if I take a wrong false step anywhere, it's going to be Campbell.
He's going to put air under the ball.
It's nights out. And the other thing I want to point out is that they do great job with the quarterback, great job with the receivers. They're always in 11 personnel. What is that, Tanner? That's two tight ends, 2 wide receivers. That's 1 tight end, 1 back, 3 wide receivers.
Was I wrong?
And watch this guy right here. Watch this guy here, Puka Nacua. They are having him block linebackers. And what that does defensively is it says, man, we can't stop the run in nickel, in 4 down. So what do? We get our big personnel out here. We get 5 guys on the field. The problem is what, Fred? We have
speed.
Yes, we have less coverage players now, right? So we're going to run this bow concept. Tanner, you remember this? I don't remember exactly how it distributes like this. And so we're going to isolate a bad coverage player. I know that's Roquan Smith.
But he's a linebacker.
And we're going to maximize this stuff. So I think that's what you're going to see. Excellent job formationally from them. Excellent job from a personnel standpoint. That's stealing. That is stealing. So how do you let them not dictate to you from a personnel standpoint? And how do you take this guy out of the game, man? Because when he is on, man.
One of the best in the league.
Excellent football player.
One of the best.
Brian, man, come on back. What you think about that?
Hey, man, I miss you guys. It was fun watching y'all be in y'all element. Great way to break that down. And no better person to hear from than these guys because they suited up against the Rams already. They got memories against the Rams. Let's take a listen to that over at DC Prime.
It's Chopping It Up, presented by DC Prime, Loudon's premier steakhouse. For dinner reservations or private dining, call 703-840-2099.
When I was in Houston, we got to play the LA Chargers. And, obviously celebrities are out there, right? No big deal.
It's LA.
And so Snoop Dogg's out there. Snoop Dogg's out there in the Charger blue. And he's on the Jumbotron doing his thing, smoking a cigarette or whatever he's smoking out there.
Left hand.
And he's doing great. So we ended up winning the game, and this is like when Deshaun Watson was balling. Like that dude had a crazy game. So we're in the locker room after the game, and everyone's dabbing each other up. And, I didn't even play. I'm just chilling, whatever. And then who comes in? Snoop Dogg. But he's not in any Charger stuff anymore. He's in all Houston stuff now. So that dude had gone and changed stuff.
That's what make him change clothes. Listen, that's why he say he quit the smoke, and all he was talking about was a grill. At the end of the day, that's what makes Snoop Snoop.
But I thought, but he's also transcended because no one was like, oh, you had your stuff on. It was like,
nobody cares. Come on in.
He's a big fan though, football fan.
Well, some play football, right? So
No, football is fan. See, Snoop is from Mississippi. This is what y'all don't know.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I gotta check my fact checker right here.
What? You gotta check. So everything come out my mouth, you gotta fact check.
When it sounds suspect.
So did it sound suspect that Snoop from Mississippi?
It's safe. It's safe to check though.
I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check my guy.
Come on, dude.
Offensive guys gotta stick together.
Yeah, man.
Now, I don't know about y'all, but I don't think I'd ever hear a Snoop Dogg story from my guy, Logan Paulson. But like he said, man, we are about to play the Rams, and there's one guy that knows these 2 franchises very well, and that's Hall of Fame semifinalist London Fletcher. So without further ado, London, set the tone, baby.
It's time to set the tone. Brought to you by the Maryland Lottery Fast Play Games. Play fast, win fast today. Please play responsibly. The time has come for us to take the show on the road to Los Angeles. We're not going out there to watch the Hollywood sign and stargaze. We're going out there to win a football game. My tone needs to be set by Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne. This is on you, fellas. It's that type of ball game. You gotta show up and show out. Put the team on your back and lead us to victory. You know number 99 on that other side of the field, he's gonna be trying to set the tone. This is when you show the entire NFL that you are two of the best defensive tackles in all of football. You two set the tone, we come out of LA victorious.
Always great to hear from my guy London setting the tone. Now, let's take a look at some of these Hall of Fame level numbers he put up in his career. 2,039 total tackles, over 1,300 total tackles, 39 sacks, 20, that's right, 20 forced fumbles, 23 interceptions, my guy had some hands, and 92 pass deflections. Good Lord, those are numbers of a bad man. And speaking of bad man, Fred, I'm gonna let you take it away, bro.
Hey, most definitely, I want to introduce to y'all future Hall of Famer, London Fletcher.
Yeah. Hey, Snoop, do I have more interceptions than you?
No. You tried to bring that up on many occasions.
Wait, is that true?
No, but he also played 29 years. I got more interceptions.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Thank you.
And see, this dialogue we just had just now, trying to figure out if Fred is being honest, is what we are going to do today for our game. And that's why we had to bring in London Fletcher. We got Santana Moss, Logan Paulson. Now, fellas, y'all are our team.
Yeah.
You guys will be taking on
band, one
Fred
side.
Smoot. Have y'all heard of Hollywood Squares before?
Yes, we have.
He is a square.
Well, we couldn't afford all the squares, so we just got one. We got one superstar, Fred Smoot. He will be your Hollywood Square. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Fred Smoot a question. He's going to answer that question to the best of his ability. He doesn't know the question or the answer. Y'all have to decide together if he is being honest or if he is being false.
Okay,
If you guys are right, you get a point. If you guys are wrong, he gets a point. First to three. Logan, do you understand the rules?
Yeah.
All right, gotta check with you all the time.
Yes, thank
Listen.
you. Appreciate it.
All right,
Got it,
okay.
you got it?
Yeah. Fred, you ready to go?
I'm ready, sir.
All right, first question is, what is our record all time against the Rams?
Our record all time against the Rams could be 33-42.
No.
Lie.
False.
Lie.
False.
False. We're going false.
Everybody saying false?
Yes.
33 and 49?
Lies.
No, not even
Yeah.
close. So you guys are right. You guys get a point. The record is Commanders lead the series 26-14-1. There was one tie.
All right, thought we played them in the Super Bowl.
Okay, all right. So, but clearly you guys get the rules.
Wait, what'd you say?
We got one point.
Shut your mouth, bro.
All right, back to first the host, show him some respect, okay? Now this one is about
respect
Fred.
on my name.
Why you
So
so sweaty, dog?
How can we both play them in the Super Bowl? We're in the NFC together.
Well, you remember they used to be split apart.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
all right, now we're gonna bring this back on track. All right, now how many interceptions did Fred Smoot have in his career?
Oh, shoot. You don't even know.
You gotta answer.
You gotta answer.
I would go
Hold on, you don't know?
19.
Right, so
Played
you
for
right
9
now?
years. Had a couple years.
19.
That seems wrong. But hey, what was that?
Remember, London had
He
23.
just said he had more than me.
And you had 20-something, right?
I had 23.
London
So,
had
but hey,
23.
but if you,
I just said the answer was 19.
yeah, but you did. That means you'd have 3 a year. though.
Listen, you go by what I say and do what you do.
No.
I just don't think he has that many.
Damn.
Not that.
I'm sorry, Fred.
I think he got 20-something.
You think so?
I think he got, and he said he got more than me.
He got 20-something.
I think it's a lie.
Lot.
I think it's a lie.
We're going-
They're right. You had 21 interceptions in your career.
I'm trying to throw him out.
You did.
You got more than
I
that.
got it. I got it.
You played 23 years.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry
More
about
is
it.
more, man.
Shut your mouth.
You had a faster 40 time and more interceptions.
Yeah.
All right, now this one is tailor-made for Fred, so I feel like we're gonna even things out.
tried
You
to
guys
throw
are
y'all
up
out
two.
like
One more point, you guys win the game. This is the fastest game we ever had.
Yeah.
All right. What is the state bird of Mississippi?
Oh God.
The state bird of Mississippi.
The state bird of Mississippi.
Is it the hummingbird?
You tell us. You tell us.
Should be crow.
So what's the answer?
So
We got to
No, what did
decide.
you
What's your
He
answer?
said the humming.
I said the hummingbird.
Oh.
I mean,
It is Mississippi. They be humming down
I
there.
would say
I don't think so.
it feels like a lie.
Yeah, I want to just shut him out.
Yeah,
It's a
why?
lie.
I don't think I don't believe it.
He is correct. It is the hummingbird slash mockingbird. Fred was right.
He's on the board.
Don't call it a comeback now, Fred.
He's a hummingbird, huh? Why you sweat so much?
This is intense.
Give him a towel.
Yeah, let's go.
This is 2-1 right now. Fred is back in it. Okay. This is a really tough one. How many celebrity stars have been removed from the Walk of Fame?
Oh gosh.
You know, people get in trouble sometimes. How many stars have been removed?
This
about it.
man
It's
has
been a
no
lot.
idea.
Oh, yeah.
He has no idea.
7.
False. False.
I'm going false too.
Yeah, I'm going false.
They're right. No star has ever been removed from the They said not even OJ.
I thought like they had to be moved.
I said OJ in my head. I know one.
I thought the same thing. Now, this is funny. This one kind of fast. So I'm gonna give y'all one more question. Is that okay? Producers, that's okay. One more.
But just to, you know.
All right. Washington, D.C. is located on what river?
Potomac.
True.
Yeah, true.
True. I mean, they get the point.
So we get
Yes, they got true.
We still get the
4-1.
point.
They get the point.
Come on, give us one more question.
One more question, Willard. I got one more.
Gambling problem over here.
What is the tallest building in L.A.? We playing in L.A. What's the tallest building in L.A.?
Tallest building in LA. Sears.
You see the Sears Tower?
No,
I
he
didn't
said-
say
he
Sears.
said
I said not
Sears.
Sears.
You don't know. False. False. It's false.
Could it be?
Staples Center? False.
Shut your mouth. Probably Pacific Sun building.
Oh,
No.
that actually is
Ooh,
kind of close.
Is he right, guys? That was a good one.
That is.
I'm gonna say
Come
true.
on, California dream.
I'm gonna say true.
Are y'all all saying
You
true?
want to say true or y'all want to say
Is
false?
it the Pacific Sun? I don't think it's called the Pacific Sun, though.
First of all, you from the West Coast?
I don't know. I'm going to say.
Yeah, we gonna.
I don't remember the name of the building. So I'm going to say false.
True, false? What y'all
We
saying?
gonna go with one band, one sound. False.
False.
If y'all would have went with London,
Oh,
y'all would have lost. So y'all won because Logan was correct. They beat Fred like 5-1. But it is okay, Fred. You did a great job hosting. I'm sweating too, brother. You were just, there's a lot of heat coming from you from this way, but I know it's just because you're excited to have the future Hall of Famer, London Fletcher, joining us.
Super excited.
This has been Command Center, Commanders family. We will see you out in LA. But until then, check us out on YouTube, check out our podcast, and we will see y'all out in LA.
Bye, game.
Sun is shining in Hollywood.
Tonight, Dad came with. He didn't want his little sweet potato to be here without him. But now, he really wishes she was here without him. Next time, he'll just let her roll with her new entourage. And he'll only trust SeatGeek with the tickets. Because when she finds her happy place, he can find his way back to the car. The ticketing app trusted by fans. SeatGeek, so fans can fan.